Are you ready, April? Noah's voice startled me, and I spun around. My heart thudded as my blue eyes melted at the sight of his chocolate ones. His week-old haircut suited him, but I missed the soft waves of longer light brown hair at his neck, although there was still some length at the front to remind me. Dressed in blue jeans and a black-fitted t-shirt that showed off his toned physique, he looked as though he stepped from the pages of an online catalog. Sorry, I knocked. He smiled and jutted his thumb over his shoulder to the door behind him that had opened and closed without me noticing. But I guess you didn't hear. Probably because I was rapping my skull off the window. My cheeks flushed with my thought. That's okay. Noah raised his eyebrows. So, are you? My stomach rolled, and I nodded, forcing a smile. Sure about that? 'Cause your eyes contradict your grin and not-so-convincing nod. I plunked onto my bed. That obvious? Noah held out his hand, and I groaned with apprehension as I stood and crossed over to him. Strong fingers entwined with mine, and he kissed my cheek. The blush returned. He tucked a piece of my brown hair behind my ear. A lot has changed, he said, and squeezed my hand. How would you know? You didn't live in this place. Noah shrugged. He opened the closet, took out a red jacket, and handed it to me. So I've been told. Why don't we check it out and you can see for yourself? Do we really have to? The coat was a little too big as I poked my arms through the sleeves. I straightened out my purple t-shirt and zipped up the jacket. He winked, took my hand, and led me toward the door. It slid open, quiet and effortless. The silence unnerved me. In my head, it always made a whooshing sound, and that was what I expected. No matter how much they cleaned the compound, I could still detect the faint odor of smoke from the deliberate fire set almost 6 months earlier. The fire had granted us our freedom from Cecil, but it also caused other forms of captivity. For Beth and I, it was another imprisonment, and for the others who'd fled, the forest enslaved them. The smell made my nose wrinkle. It's all in your head, my father told me. And he was right. It was all in my head. Every single bit. We stepped out into the hallway. The beginnings of colorful murals now adorned the once white walls. I was back, returned to the one property I vowed never to see again. And no matter what they did to change its appearance, underneath the facade, it was still Cecil. And once again, I felt trapped.